how much of your income should actually go towards investments? This can be quite a confusing thing for anyone that is new to investing, but in this video we'll break down that a little bit more and try and establish how much of your income or of your wealth you should actually be investing. If you haven't already signed up to the likes of Freetrade and Coinbase, which are both investing portfolios for stocks and for cryptocurrency, and you're interested in signing up to those, then use my referral link in the description below, as you will actually get free money from doing so. For example, if you use the Freetrade link, you will get a free stock worth up to £200, and I will get the same thing as well. So why not? It's basically free money. Also, just as a quick disclaimer, I am not in any way a trained financial advisor, so of course this video is purely for entertainment and education purposes only, and do your own research before making any investment decisions. So how much of your income, how much of your money should you actually invest? Well, like with most things, this is not straightforward, and ultimately it's up to you. It is up to your lifestyle, it is up to how much you have, it's up to your outgoings and your living expenses in general, how much risk you want to take, and really importantly, it's up to your investment goals. You will find that most financial advisors and most information on the internet will typically advise that you invest anywhere between 10, 15, 20% of your income. Now that's great, and that is a good ballpark figure to start on. However, it's not really the case that that amount will fit everybody. Because, for example, if you are someone who has a little bit of debt to their name at the moment, maybe you have some loans to repay, some car payments to be made, whatever it may be, you probably shouldn't be investing any of your income, and actually the first thing that you should be doing is looking to clear your debts. Paying back any money that you owe should always take priority over investing, in my opinion. If, however, you are not someone that has any debt to your name at the moment and you are ready to begin investing, then how much you should begin investing and how much you should actually invest depends on a few things. Firstly, let's just cover saving versus investing. Let's just say that you are someone who makes £2,000 per month from your job, from your income. And once everything has gone out of that money, so all your bills, your rent or your mortgage, your hobbies, your living costs, everything's gone out, you are left with about £1,000, and that just sits in your bank. Should you move this to a savings account or should you invest it? I would probably say that you should look to invest a large proportion of that money. Now, whether you invest 60%, 80%, 100%, 40% of the remainder money that you have each month is again up to you. It depends on the risks you want to take. But one thing that's really, really important is that you have some accessible money. Now, with investments, I think you need to look at that as not accessible money. It's not something that you can just really withdraw easily if you need that money in an emergency. So you really need to sort out your emergency fund first. Ideally, this should be at least 6 months of living cost, and living cost for you will be different to living cost for me. But once you've established that you've got your emergency fund sorted, then you really are ready to begin investing. The whole idea as to why you should put your money left over each month into investments as opposed to into a normal saving account is because savings accounts tend to have very low interest. So actually, over time, you're probably losing money due to inflation than you are actually making money due to building interest. But if you put your money into passive, low-risk index funds, for example, which roughly may have an 8% return, then over time, your money is actually making you money. There will be dips and there will be sometimes when you feel like you've lost money when you look at your portfolio, but if you're really willing to leave that long-term, then you're pretty much, not 100%, but you can sort of know that you will be making money. And this is all due to the magic of compound interest. I will pop a video somewhere on the screen. I have spoken about the power of compound interest before, so if you're not familiar with this term, do check out that video. Another thing to think about before you actually decide how much, what percentage of your income you should invest is whether or not you are likely to need money, a lot of money, in the next 5 years. Now, again, this is separate to the emergency fund. So your emergency fund, your emergency money, should be set up for if anything appears that you need money for quickly. So this would be things like your car breaking down, needing to pay a hospital bill, whatever it may be. That's where your emergency fund comes in. But separate to that is your accessible money for the next 5-ish years. This is a really personal one for me because in the next 5 years, I do look to get onto the property ladder, whether that is buying my first property, getting a mortgage, getting properties to then sell on, whatever it may be. I know I want to get into property, and ideally that will happen in the next 5 years. Because I'm very aware that that's my aim, I am not going to invest all of my savings. And that is because when I come to have a mortgage, when I come to need a mortgage, often your investment portfolio is actually not taken into account. So if I was to invest all my money, I would then have like zero savings to actually show that I could get a mortgage with, if that makes sense. So for me, because I am looking to probably get a mortgage in the next 5 years and I need that money to put into property, I can't then invest all my money. However, if I was in the same position where I had savings, but I didn't have these 5-year goals of going into property, then actually I would be looking to invest a larger percentage of my savings. I would be looking to probably invest around 80% of it, whereas now I'm investing a lot less, and that's just because I have them goals that I know are coming up. As I said, it really does come down to your age, your long-term goals, and the risks you're willing to take. If you are someone who is quite young, you know that your goals are very long-term, so you want to invest for retirement, and that is maybe 30 plus years off. And the risk, you want to sort of take a moderate risk maybe. You've not got too much to lose, but you know, you're still young and you don't want to lose all your money. I would probably look to invest at least 20% of your income each month. That is a really loose figure. Obviously, it's so dependent, but when you get paid each month, just look to break down where that money's actually going. So how much of your income that you get each month needs to go on housing? How much of that are you spending on all of your other bills, your weekly shopping, all of that sort of thing? Any petrol, any travel, anything else? Once you've accounted for all of your essentials, then you need to start thinking about your living costs. So these, your non-essential living costs. So any hobbies that you have, how much you spend on clothes, on eating out, anything like that, account for that. Probably add a little bit extra on just because it's always better to be safe than sorry. And then any money left over, that's your money that you can then look to invest with, if you've already got your emergency fund figured out already. When it comes to investing, the more that you can invest, and especially the earlier that you can start, the better in terms of building long-term wealth. But even if you're going to invest $30 a month every single month into a low-risk index fund, for example, you are really helping to build your financial future and your financial freedom. What I would suggest you do is, once you've figured out your budget each month and once you've figured out how much money you actually have left over that you can invest with, I would sort of set up a non-negotiable purchase of investments per month. So let's just say every month you have £200, $200, whatever it may be, left over that you're ready to invest with. I would sort of set up either a standing order like a direct debit, or each month have something in your calendar that tells you to invest on that date with that money, to make it sort of a non-negotiable. Because some people find it quite hard to remind themselves to use their spare money to actually invest, and instead they might just go out and spend it all and then be like, oh, I don't have any money to invest with. Actually, what you should do is look at your investments as almost a bill. So just like you would pay your rent, you'd pay your rent each month, you'd pay your bills, have it in that sort of capacity. Have your investments as something that is a non-negotiable that comes out of your bank each and every month, but you've already figured out how much that can be for you. If you're someone that has seen the FIRE movement, Financial Independence Retire Early, I believe that stands for, or anything to do with that, the people that are striving for this are people that will be looking to invest a very large percentage of their income. So they will not really be going for the 20%, the 15%, the 10% of their income into investments. They will probably be hitting above 50%. So they may even be investing 80% of their income. Again, it really depends on what's important to you, your goals, and how much money you actually have left over ready to invest. Don't be hard on yourself. Even if this comes down to only investing 5%, it's a start. It's important just to start investing, get your foot in the door, and try and build wealth up over time. It really does come down a lot of the time to how long you've been in the market. So if you do want to look to get into investing and maybe free trade or Coinbase is that platform for you, then don't forget my links in the description below. Really hope that video helped you. Like I said, it's not a question that you can just answer with a simple solution. It really does come down to the individual, and everyone is going to have a different amount that they should invest. If you've liked this video, then give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. My goal here is to get financial education out to people so everyone can have accessible information. I really believe that everyone should know about their own personal finances, including investing. That's really important to me, and that is why this channel exists. So if you know anyone that could benefit from seeing some videos that I post, then please share this channel. And as always, comment below. I love reading your comments and answering you guys. That's pretty much it. Really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.